Hello, my name is Elias Royal, and I will be presenting a case study that illustrates a project failure. The subject of this case is Nike's integrated enterprise software. Before presenting the description of this case, I will present background information that emphasizes the contributing factors behind Nike's decision. In 1975, Nike implemented the Futures program to respond to the unstable running shoe market. Nike dominated this market by building a 6-month order or manufacturing cycle supply chain to guarantee delivery by fulfilling orders for retailers 6 months in advance. By 1998, however, globalization fragmented Nike's supply chain and added 3 additional months to the order cycle. In addition, Nike oversaw 27 management systems worldwide. Because of the complexities of their product lines, each system was highly personalized and badly integrated with headquarters. As a result, Nike aimed to centralize its supply chains. Increasing manufacturing costs and a 9-month order cycle, Nike contracted i2 Technologies to implement a forecasting demand and supply planner software. The following slide shows the 4 phases of Nike's $400 million integrated enterprise software. i2 Technologies SCM software was the first phase of this ambitious project. Because this SCM software is responsible for the project's failure, I will focus on the implementation of the i2's SCM. The second phase consisted of an ERP software to manage orders and invoices. The third phase included a CRM software to enable communication with vendors and retailers. Finally, the fourth phase includes a middleware that integrated all software applications into a single system. In collaboration with i2 Technologies, Nike aimed to quickly implement the SCM to reduce manufacturing costs and predict consumer demands and product requirements. This case is significant because of the sheer size of Nike's market share, which is nearly double its closest competitor, Adidas. As a result, the supply chain disruption that was caused by an ineffective software implementation is commensurate with Nike's global reach and market control. Consequently, the software failed to predict customer demand because the SCM software was not compatible with Nike's legacy systems. As a result, the SCM software was constantly crashing because it was overwhelmed by the data. These system failures disrupted the global supply chain by ignoring, duplicating, and deleting shoe orders. Overall, these failures depressed the value, reputation, and sales of Nike, i2 Technologies, retail stores, shareholders, employees, and customers for both companies. regards to critical lessons, the research implies that Phase 1 lacked comprehensive planning and analysis. I will support this point later in the presentation. It may be argued, however, that the lack of experienced project managers and the absence of staff training placed a significant amount of strain on the project team. This slide will explore the root causes of the project failure with an analysis of the failures. With little patience, Nike launched the demand and supply chain software while still operating its legacy systems and without integrating it with SAP's ERP software in 1999. Once all systems were operational in 2000, i2's software was incompatible with the other two applications, and Nike's legacy systems had too many customizations, which frequently crashed the system. This slide will explore the root causes of the project failure with an analysis of the failures. To cut manufacturing costs and meet demand, Nike ignored system recommendations from i2 Technologies. According to the research, these system recommendations would have minimized some of the errors that appeared during the software implementation. Even with these consequences, Nike is confident that its risk will eventually pay dividends. Ultimately, Nike believes that the successful launch of an integrated enterprise software would save the company more than its initial investment of $400 million and a $100 million loss of sales. To minimize risk, Nike may have implemented the recommendations on this slide. However, Nike may have also utilized risk management tools to learn from known risk, identify potential unknown risk, and imagine the consequences of these risks. To avoid risk, however, Nike must implement higher standards of accountability to ensure organizational learning. The following slide uses the Sullivan Beach conceptual model to analyze this case. On this slide, I have isolated the capability side of the scale. Under competence factors, I focus on the Big Bang approach to ERP implementation. According to an expert, Nike should have avoided the Big Bang approach because they were not implementing a work breakdown structure and testing modules. Because a Big Bang implementation favors speed, it may be argued that Nike cultivated a market culture where profits are prioritized at the expense of everything else. On the risk side, I highlight complacency as a risk factor. According to the former vice president and general manager of the Asia Pacific division, Roland Wolfram, Nike embraced a false sense of security concerning phase 1 because this project was smaller than the others. He goes on to mention that Nike perceived it as an easy project because it was not altering the entire business. Within the context of the Sullivan Beach model or the high reliability model, it may be argued that Wolfram's comments are indicative of an unknown risk because of his certainty that the project would not fail. It must be stated, however, that this complacency bias may have been internalized by other members of the project team. With the evidence from the previous 2 slides, I have superimposed this case with a balanced version of the Sullivan Beach model. Because this project demonstrated low levels of competence factors among key individuals, project failure was an inevitable conclusion. Nike's low competence factors also infers that the company or the project team lacked organizational learning. By tracing the organizational learning loop counterclockwise on this model, the need for more meaningful consequences and more sustainable accountability measures becomes evident with this model. I have identified the critical point where the risk and capability scale tilts out of balance. Even though Nike is not a high reliability organization or HRO, it shares similarities with HROs because it operates with a certain level of high complexity. As a result, Nike can adapt some of the characteristics which are specific to HROs. Thank you for joining me for this presentation today. Take care.